Hi everyone, and welcome to the first actual video of substance that is part of the anime alphabet challenge thingy that I am doing for no particular reason other than it seemed like fun. Now, I'm not going to say this in every one of these, but seeing as this is like the first actual one, I just want to make it clear this won't replace like a daily ramble. I just want to get this up first because I felt like it should go up first. Also, obviously not going to say this at the start of every ramble either because it only applies to today, and I'm also at the start of every one of these only applies to today, but happy Trans Visibility Day. I'll be saying that at the start of the ramble tonight as well. Sorry, let me get on topic. That is not why we're here. I just wanted to, throw it in. So, as I mentioned at some point in the introduction video that I put up yesterday, the first anime of the anime alphabet challenge doesn't even start with a letter. It starts with a number. So the first show was a non-letter show. I was gonna do any kind of show that starts with a number or symbol or something that is not a letter. So after checking Crunchyroll, which this is what I did for all of these shows that were on Crunchyroll, I hit browse all and I just went letter by letter and I found a show that seemed mildly interesting. So anyway, like I said in yesterday's, the first show that we're going over is 2.43 Seiin High School Boys Volleyball Team. Okay. So this is an anime from 2021. It was 12 episodes, one season. Realistically, I think they could do a second season. I don't know if they're going to, but it was one season, 12 episodes, 2021. Went from January 8th to March 26th. Obviously, it is a sports anime. I mean, volleyball is literally in the name. On myanimelist.com, the average overall rating of the show is, and apologies if you hear me clicking or you hear my PC, I just have the show pulled up here on MyAnimeList, that way I can get all this info correct. Okay, Jesus, where is the average review number? The average score was 6.15. So, and I will admit, quite a few of these shows I checked, like I wanted to see their average score, just because I was curious to see what I was getting into. So I gave this show an 8 out of 10. In fact, in my notes, I don't expect my notes to be very long or detailed, at least on the spreadsheet. In my short little note here, I don't understand why nobody likes this show. Also, the opening song is very good. I know, high level commentary from yours truly. So, this show is about two people. It's about more than two people, obviously, but our two main characters. You have Hajime and Koroba. Also, I watched this in subbed. I'm pretty sure I'm planning on watching all of these shows in subbed. Just a heads up. So, like I said, I watched this in subbed. Interestingly enough, the Hajime is voiced by the guy who is Giorno in JoJo Part 5, and Koroba is voiced by Yuji in JJK, which I think is very interesting, because I heard Yuji and I started losing it. I'm like, it's Yuji! And then the other guy, I was like, that guy sounds really, really familiar. That would be why, because I am a JoJo fan. Okay, sorry, I'm like all over the place. So yeah, it's about these two boys, and so it starts with which one of them is moving? Hajime is they're like little children in kindergarten, and so Hajime has to move, so he moves, and then they are like apart up until I believe some point in middle school, and it gets revealed that at his previous school, Hajime drove some kid on the volleyball team to try to kill themselves, because he was like, if you're going to be this bad at the game, then why do you even play it? which then led to, him trying to take his own life. And so then Hajime was forced to transfer to a school out in the middle of nowhere, in his hometown where his buddy Koroba lives. And so then, for like the first two, this is gonna have spoilers, by the way. So for the first two episodes, we're getting introduced to the characters, at least the two of them. And they're in middle school, and we see them on the volleyball team at this school, and they play volleyball, and they're doing, like, Hajime is the setter. I should mention, I don't know much about sports. I don't play sports. I don't know much about volleyball. I think the most I know about it is from, like, Switch Sports. So he's the setter, and Koroba is the... what do they call him? He's the guy who, like, slams it into the ground and gets the point. Like, he does, like, so it's set up for him, then he hits it and then gets the point. I don't know if hitter or scorer, I don't know the terminology. I just remember setter because I said it about 85,000 times. So we see that, Hajime joins their volleyball team, and, like, at the time, nobody on this volleyball team, like, actually plays volleyball. They just needed a club to get out of, like, doing other things. Well, so he joins, and they gradually, like, form a club again, and they start playing volleyball. So we see this for about 2 episodes, and it ends with them playing. They play a match, and Koroba ends up, like, getting very, like, in the previous match, he gets very nervous, and so as a result, Hajime kind of, like, picks up the slack and, like, carries the entire game by himself. So later that night, Koroba calls up the rest of the team, and they start, like, trash talking Hajime, because they're like, well, if he can play the entire game by himself, then, like, what is the point? So then the next day, when they have their they're qualifying for championships or something, like, Koroba misses the game. He's like, I don't want to go. Last night, me and the team, trash talking him, and it's like, I don't want to go play with him. Like, what's the point? Like, he doesn't need us. He's that good. So he doesn't come, and then he does eventually end up, he doesn't want to go, but he does eventually end up going. And so when he gets there, the game is already over, and they have lost because one person cannot play volleyball because there's, like, a double contact rule, like the same person can't hit it twice in a row or something. Like I said, I'm not a sports person, so there's a chance that's wrong, but I believe that's what they said. So Koroba gets there, they lose. And then Hajime comes out, and he's like, hey, well, I guess I know how you feel about me and volleyball as a whole. And he's like, so I'm done. Like, don't worry about it. You won't ever have to play volleyball with me again. It's done. It's over. And he walks away. So then Koroba, he feels bad. He's like, oh man, I still want to play volleyball with him. Well, then from, like, episode 3 onward, it jumps forward a little bit, and they're now in high school. So Koroba's on the volleyball team, and then there's, like, one other guy from their middle school who's on the volleyball team as well. And the team captain is like, oh, hey, I heard you're from the school with this guy, Hajime. Where is he? We want him on the team. And they're like, oh, well, he quit volleyball. So they end up having, like, a kind of, I don't want to call it a sports festival. They have some kind of, like, event where they play volleyball and I think maybe basketball. I don't remember. Like, they don't play it, but, like, they have, like, multiple sports events at this thing, I believe. All that matters is the volleyball, though. So they end up getting Hajime on a team with the volleyball team captain, who they make note is like 5'9", 5'8". It's like my height, and they think it's funny because they're like, how could a short dude play volleyball? Because you gotta like jump up and you gotta spike it or something like that. I'm not a sports person. So Hajime ends up playing a match with this guy, and he ends up playing against Koroba, and so Koroba is like failing horrendously to play volleyball, and Hajime like snaps at him, like grabs him, and it's like, what are you doing? Like in the year I haven't played with you or even really spoken to you, you are this bad. And he was like, well, and he lets it slip. He's like, well, they said if we lost, you join the team, and I want to play volleyball with you. So, secret's out, and he ends up joining the team. So then I believe that's like episode 3 or 4. So then for the remainder of the show, it's them playing volleyball and like the drama of like their team and whatever. So they're getting better, and they have like an actual team, and they play enough matches to the point where they get to go to sorry, they get to, if you all know I yawn constantly in these things, so I'm, like I said, my apologies. But they get to go to the event that like determines which team will represent like this prefecture in yeah. So like they're in the prefecture. I don't remember what it's called. Oh god, I wish I could remember. Like Fukai or something, I think. And so it's like whichever team wins this like tournament gets to represent the prefecture at like nationals. So so by this point we're introduced to like the top team of the prefecture who's won like every one of these like ever and goes to nationals like every single time. It's like this tech school, like Fukuho Tech School, I think. And so we get to meet the main dude on that team, this guy named Subaru, and then their manager, this guy named Ochi. So Ochi was like originally gonna be a player, and he ended up hurting his leg, so then as a result he was turned into the manager. And so the whole thing is that Subaru wants to get to nationals and win nationals. That way Ochi can be on the nationals court or whatever, even if it's just as like a manager. So we get to see them, and then I think they get like 2 episodes, I feel like, dedicated to them. I could be misremembering, but I feel like they get at least an episode and a half. And so then we go back to our team at Seiin and them getting through the matches, and they get up to the match with this champion team. And okay, side note that I forgot to mention. So this show, I've realized, they're like, I don't know, it is a volleyball show, but like I feel like there's more of a focus on like the characters and the drama than volleyball, because like there are a couple matches where it's like, okay, they have this match, but we don't see it. It just like cuts to the end, and it's like, oh, they lost, or oh, they won. And so I remember, because I've read some of the reviews now that I've seen it, and I know some of the reviews were like, for a volleyball show, they don't play a lot of volleyball, which like people were not a fan of. I personally was okay with it. I felt like they had played enough volleyball, and like the animation when they were playing it was very good. I was having a very very good time with it, and it didn't really bother me. But I know that was some things that people were not a fan of. So anyway, so we get to this match against the final team, and like their manager gets, like at this top school, their manager gets injured, so he's gone for like an episode, I think. And then their main dude, he like has like a knee injury, like his knees are time bombs at this point, and like if he overdoes it, he's gonna like ruin his career permanently. So like mid match, he like hurts his knees, but he like plays through the pain, and it's like basically said out loud, he's like, okay, after this game, I have to be out of playing volleyball for 2 years because I have to do surgery and rehab or whatever. So, anyway, so they have the match with the the main team, and of course our main characters end up winning. So they get to go to the nationals, and everybody's excited. But Hajime, he's like, okay, we've now reached where we can go to nationals, but like I still don't feel like it's enough, and I don't know what to do with myself. So he ends up talking to Subaru from the other team, and they're having this chat, and it makes Hajime realize he's like, okay, now I want to join the under 19 team. And I'm going to join the under 21 team. He's like, he and Kurobo, they're both going to get on it. He's like, that's the new goal. That's what we're shooting for. And Kurobo's like, you're insane, but okay. So then, like, it cuts to them getting on a bus to go to nationals, and they, like, get there, and they walk towards the building, and then the season ends. So they could realistically do another season, I'm sure. I think the manga this is based on, it says it's still publishing. Yeah. What on earth? Okay, that doesn't seem right. Hold on. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if this is based on a manga or if this is based on a novel. The manga is on hiatus, and the novel, I don't know, but the novel has been going since 2012, and the manga has been going since 2018. What on earth? Okay, it's got to be based on the novel, because the manga says it only has 4 chapters, and there's no way all of this stuff happens in 4 chapters. So yeah, I know that was not a very, that probably wasn't a very well thought out description and breakdown of what happens over the course of 12 episodes. My apologies. However, if that's what you wanted, you've come to the wrong place, because I'm using my ramble format where I just bounce all over the place and basically bring my thoughts straight out of my mouth. Okay, so that is the basic plot overview of the show from start to finish of the first season and only season. Like I said, I gave it an 8. I thought it was very good. I thought the animation was very good. The opening song is amazing. I liked the characters. I did see a review saying the characters would have been so much more interesting if the 2 main characters were gay. And that made me chuckle. Because in my head, I'm like, I'm going to headcanon that these 2 are gay. So, that was, I don't know, just, I got a kick out of it. I know a lot of the reviews said this is like the most mid anime ever. It's like the characters are boring, the story is not interesting, the art is fine, the music is fine, the animation is fine. It's like, okay, the characters could be a little boring, I'm not gonna lie, but like, it was fun to watch, and the animation was nice, and the music was good, and I mean, I liked the characters, and like I said, they could be a little boring, but like, I liked it. However, I did notice a lot of the reviews mentioned Haikyuu, which I have no idea how to pronounce that show. If that's not apparent from the previous part of this, the introduction thing, I have no clue how to pronounce that show. Okay, I think it's Haikyuu. I don't know. Here, I've got it right in front of me. Haikyuu. Yeah, we'll go with that. It seems that a lot of the reviews compared this show to that. And I mean, I can't say I'm surprised, because that is like the volleyball manga, like the volleyball anime. In fact, something I wanted to do was I wanted to watch this one, and then for the letter H, I wanted to watch that. However, if you watched yesterday's, not yesterday, but like the introduction, you would know that I unfortunately can't, because of the rules I have in place, since it is not completed, and or something is currently being produced, which is the second final movie, which comes out in 2027. Since that's not done, I told myself, okay, I'm not gonna allow myself to watch it, which is unfortunate, because I wanted to compare the two. But it seems like a lot of the reviews, people said this is This is Haikyuu, but worse. Just go watch that. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I think people were being a little harsh on this show. I think it was a very good show to start this thing with, because I don't watch a lot of sports animes. I mean, I've seen quite a few, but I don't go out of my way to typically watch them. So I know one thing, and you'll notice as I go through the shows here, is I tried to have like a diverse selection of genres. And so I thought, me watching a sports anime, spoiler alert, I think we've got at least one more on this list. I was like, I don't typically do that, so let's put one on here. In fact, let's start with one. I thought it'd be interesting. If I like it, it's like, yay, another sports show that I like. If I don't like it, then it's fine, whatever. It's 12 episodes. Another thing that just popped in my head, one thing this really reminded me of, at least at the start, I don't know about, a little bit as it went on too. It kind of reminded me of Ping Pong the Animation, which is an anime about ping pong, because it is like, literally, it's like 11 episodes, and it covers like the entire, I don't want to say the entire life of the two main characters, but like it starts with them in like middle school and then high school, and then maybe it goes further than that. I feel like I should know the answer to this because I've seen that show multiple times. But like it reminded me of it because it's like we start at a different time and then we zip forward to the more current time, and like you have a character in this show, it's Hajima, and in Ping Pong it's this guy named Smile, who are both very good at the game but like have zero social ability, have like barely any friends, and like all that matters to them is like being good at this sport, whether that results in good things or bad things. They just want to be good at the sport, which is very much apparent in both of these shows. Okay, this is not a video about Ping Pong the Animation, but I'd highly recommend you go watch it. So all in all, I think this is a very good show. I'm very happy I started the challenge with it. What about this as a challenge again? I don't know. I think people are being overly harsh on this show. However, I do think, like, I'm not gonna like invalidate all of their criticisms, because I mean it's not a perfect show, but I think it deserves more than a 6. So yeah, that's I think that about sums up all of my immediate thoughts. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the first official show review thing of this challenge. And I should say what the next one is. So the next one is another short show. Let's see. I watched it on Crunchyroll. It's 1 season, 13 episodes. For the letter A, we have A Girl and Her Guard Dog, which is pretty different shift from sports drama. But this is not the video to talk about that. That will be getting its own video when it is done. So I'm going to wrap this one up here. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about this show. I hope this will be a fun project. If you didn't enjoy it, that's understandable. I don't know if my typical ramble style fits more review style thing, but why not give it a go? So if you liked it, hit like, leave feedback in the comments below, especially critiques. If you're like, this was rough, in the future do this or this, by all means. Feedback is very much appreciated. But as always, I will be back with typical ramble content, and then this will continue whenever I finish the next show, which shouldn't be too long. So until then, bye.